Sorry for bothering you while you're at work, Eloise. Would you be able to take some time off here soon? Perhaps in the next couple of weeks?
The next time I'll be able to take time off will be around the end of this month. Why are you asking?
Actually, my little brother Trey will be getting married. And he asked for us to go and meet with his fiancé and everything soon. So I was hoping that you'd have time to go and do that with me.
What? Trey is getting married now? He was only just talking about how he got a girlfriend a couple of months ago, right?
And well, he's getting married to her now. And Trey has always become easily attached to things, and so he wanted to propose to her as soon as he found out how much he loves her.
That's really fast for those two, though. Trey really must have been a good man to his fiancée for her to accept him that quickly. I would have at least asked for a couple months of just dating before saying yes to something like that.
And now he's wanting all of us to meet her as soon as possible. But, his fiancée is a little bit nervous about meeting everyone. Apparently, she's wanting to meet with you and I first before meeting my parents.
I can understand being a little bit nervous for all of that when she's only been with Trey for a little over a month or so, right? Maybe that's why she's wanting to see us first. It'll be practice for her later to go and see your parents.
I understand that you're pretty busy this month, but do you think you can at least take a half a day to come out and see her soon? We can even just make a quick lunch out of it, and then you can go right back to work after.
Understood. Let me see what I can do today about my schedule then. I'll talk to my secretary even, and she might be able to move some things around for an afternoon to become open.
Thank you for doing that, Eloise. Good luck with work today, and I'll see you tonight.
Thank you for coming out to see me today. I hear that you've been pretty busy and had to make some special time just to come and be with me. Oh, you don't have to worry about my schedule, Maria. I'd like to say how happy I am that I was able to meet you and Trey today. And congratulations on becoming engaged. I look forward to being your sister-in-law once the two of you get married. Actually, I'd really like to talk about all of that right now. It's about things regarding our relationship after today. Can we just act like we don't really know one another? Really, I'm not looking forward to ever meeting with you again, and would like for you and I to be very distant. What? What do you mean you want for the both of us to be very distant from one another? To put it in other words, I'm not going to be inviting either of you to my wedding, and from here on out, please don't even text or call me. I would like to say the next time you and I should meet one another is at our in-laws' funerals or something like that. What? So, now that I've made my wishes clear, please respect them. Make sure to tell Milo about what I'm asking as well. Wait a second, Maria? Saying things like that about us out of the blue, I'm not sure what you mean. What? Do you really have to understand the deeper meanings here? As long as you respect what I've asked for, then everything will be okay. I'm asking that you and your husband stay away from us now, so please just shut up and do as I've asked. Why are you saying things like that at this point in time, though? Today at our dinner, we all seemed to be getting along so well with one another. Did I say something rude to you that I never noticed? Well, right in front of you guys and Trey, I had to make sure to fake being all happy. But really, that whole time, I was feeling really let down by both you and your husband. I never actually expected my older sister and brother-in-law to be so poor. Had I known about that all before, I would have never asked to come out and see you both. You're calling us poor? You do realize that Trey is in his 20s right now and running his own company, right? He came from an Ivy League school and is now making bank, which has made him the ideal person for me. And since he ended up such a wonderful man himself, I assumed that both you and your husband would be just as amazing as him, if not more rich. But then to hear from you today that you're from the countryside and are still poor, do you even understand how much shock I was in after hearing about that? Huh? You told me about this at dinner today. You said that you are from some deep woods countryside community in the middle of nowhere, whereas I'm from New York and was raised there all my life. And when being raised there, both my parents had loads of money and raised me in this massive colonial-era mansion. That means that me being from a very wealthy and high-standing family should not be anywhere near your dirty and moneyless self. In other words, what you're getting at right now is that because I'm from the backwoods, you think that automatically makes me poor? I think it's a bit ridiculous of someone like you to be judging me based off of only my birthplace and where I was raised. That's not all I'm judging you off of, though. You did come from the middle of nowhere, but your husband Milo also happens to be a jobless shut-in. It must be very hard on someone who's already at the bottom of society to have to be married to a man that doesn't bring in any money. You both are on a one-way trip to becoming some of the poorest people in America. Did you not listen to a single thing my husband and I were saying to you today at the dinner? My husband is not unemployed right now, rather a hard-working man getting all the housework done at home. Someone who stays home and does the chores all day is jobless, right? Either way, he isn't making any money and should just be called a parasite of yours. Then wouldn't that make you a parasite to Trey as well? Huh? You were telling the both of us that after getting married, you'd leave your job and become a housewife, right? You won't be making any money, nor will you have a job, meaning that you are jobless as well. So you and Milo are one and the same. Would you please stop making fun of me like that? Unlike your husband, I am not without a job right now. And when I become Trey's wife, I will still have a job. Really? My job will be staying pretty and youthful for my husband in order to support him through all his hard work. I'll have to make sure that all of his meals are properly balanced so that he'll always be feeling great without gaining any more weight. And considering I'll be doing all of that to support him as a company owner, you could call my job being a company owner as well. I happen to have a very good job coming my way, so please don't compare me to that jobless Milo. But what about making money? I'm not so sure you'll be making a paycheck every month just by being a wife. Are you kidding me, Eloise? Trey has promised me that every month he'll be giving me an allowance of $5,000 to spend. In other words, that's going to become my paycheck, my income. Your allowance will be your income? However, for Milo, he's not getting an allowance right now, correct? In other words, he's just living in that house without bringing in a penny. The only thing you can call a man like that is a parasite. Come on now. I'm starting to get really tired of trying to figure out what the hell your manner of thinking is. I don't need you to understand how the high class think, so would you please shut up and do as I've asked? Ever since I was a little girl, I have never wanted to become close to those that are even an inch below me in this society. Also, my family and I are allowed to pick and choose who we want to be around, and you guys aren't a part of them. So therefore, after today, I don't want either of you to have anything to do with myself or Trey, please. Even if you both want to be close to me, you're not socially allowed to do that, so don't even bother trying.
Hey, Eloise? Did I do something wrong at that dinner we went to last week? I'm not able to get any texts from Trey or Maria anymore. So I'm wondering if you know what's happened to them?
What was that?
Last week we went out with those two for dinner, right? After that dinner, I sent the both of them a text saying that dinner was really fun and thanks, but they haven't even read it yet. And when I messaged Maria again, she still didn't reply to me. I've started to think I've done something wrong and that those two might have blocked me now.
The fact that not even your little brother, who is known for being very prompt, has not gotten back to you or even read that message yet, probably means he blocked you.
I knew it. Hey, did I really do or say something wrong that evening? I get that I was really happy for my little bro and drank a bit of alcohol that night, but did I really do something that bad there to warrant them blocking me?
You didn't do anything wrong, actually. It's just Maria blocking you for no good reason. And Trey isn't bothering to do anything about her either.
What? What is going on with them right now?
I've been a bit on the fence wondering if I should tell you or not, but I guess I have to now. After that dinner we had, I got a text from Maria and her and I both talked for a little bit. She told me about how you and I aren't good enough for her and Trey, so she doesn't want us bothering them anymore. She even told me we're not invited to her wedding as well. But the fact that she'd even get Trey involved and have him block you is wild to me. Unless she went and did that herself and he still hasn't noticed anything. She really is a problem, that girl.
Wait a sec. Why are both you and I hated so much by that Maria chick? We aren't good enough for her is what she said? There has to be something I did to piss her off like that, right?
Calm down, Milo. Neither you nor I have done anything wrong here. It's just that Maria hates us for her own reasons that really don't make any sense. Right now, she seems to think that both you and I have no money or something.
Huh? She thinks you and I are actually poor?
Compared to Maria, who grew up in New York at an old mansion, I was just raised on the middle of nowhere, right? And with your brother running his own company right now to the best of his abilities, she sees you as doing absolutely nothing because you're home all the time. That means to her, I'm just a moneyless hick from the backwoods, and you're just a parasitic shut-in, and that means you and I don't make any money.
You're telling me that that's her only reason for why she views you and I as poor?
Apparently, since Trey is a CEO right now, she assumed you, being his older brother and me being your wife, we'd have even more to offer than him. So perhaps right now she's in shock because she feels like she's been backstabbed by her own misunderstood expectations.
Wait. That is all just way too crazy to me, though. How can she just decide something like that about us when she barely even knows you and I? She's already gone and blocked me and won't even invite us to her wedding now. I'm sorry, Eloise. Because I'm not working a job right now, she's probably thinking the both of us are lowlives.
You do not have to apologize for something like that. I don't mind you not having a job right now, and you happened to do your best at your last job, which was enough for me to be satisfied with you. You need this time off from working in order to rest your head, all right?
But surely if I was working right now, none of this would be happening to you and I. I'm going to try and get my parents to reach out to Trey for me right now. And then hopefully he'll become aware of what's going on with his fiancé right now.
No, you shouldn't do something like that to them right now. I think it's better we just let things be for right now.
But if we leave things the way they are currently, I'm going to lose my mind.
I understand that, but you saw how those two were acting with one another when we went to dinner, right? Your brother was falling head over heels for Maria and wouldn't stop talking about her. They're already planning on getting married, so we shouldn't do anything that would hurt those two's relationship.
If that's what you want to do, then I'll lay off for a bit. But if Maria starts saying things about us again like that, please let me know so I can tell my parents. I don't care that this is my brother's relationship. Having his fiancé treat us like that will literally make me explode.
All right, I'll let you know if anything else happens. Now, I'm gonna head back to work. I'll be waiting for you to cook me up some more really delicious food tonight. Hey, Maria, what the hell are you trying to do? What were you thinking pouring water all over me like that? And the fact that you just did that in front of everyone with that bucket was insane. I'm the one that wants to ask you that same thing. What the hell are you trying to do? I didn't even invite you to my wedding today. Yet you still came all the way out here and introduced yourself to everyone here. You both are frickin' moneyless lowlifes, so don't you dare come to my wedding of all places. I understand that you didn't invite either one of us here, but Trey contacted us about the wedding. He said that we didn't RSVP or anything to the invitation, but we were still coming, right? Maria, you never sent us the invitation you had ready for us and just threw it away, didn't you? And so what? You should have been able to tell that I didn't want you here and should have just said no to him. Yet you came all the way here like you had nothing to worry about and then introduced yourself to all my guests. Why, at my gorgeous and expensive wedding, is there this moneyless, shut-in supporting lowlife introducing herself to all my guests? Huh? I made sure to prepare this wedding the very best I could, which was to a standard of perfection. And I wanted to show off to everyone today that I'm getting married to a CEO. This wedding has to show everyone that I'm the winner and they should all suck up to me. There is no reason for someone like you to be here talking to everyone that's here for me. But even so, that's not a good enough reason to just come pour a bucket of water all over me like that. Are you an idiot or something? Everyone just saw you do that to me and are as surprised as I am. What's the problem with someone of my class pouring water on someone who's below me? Nobody was shocked to see something like that, and I'm sure they'd all do the same thing if they were in my shoes. I'm sure they were all happy to see that happen to you. That happened to you because a poor person should never come into a high-class wedding and start talking to all the guests. Huh? I really hope you've started to understand what position you're in here. And not just at this wedding, I mean, but in this society. I am getting married to Trey, a CEO. This should have shown you that I have no plans of becoming close friends with any of your kind. Don't think that you can become family to me when you're nothing more than beggars. I will never, ever have anything to do with two lowlifes like you and your husband. Then I'm not working with your husband anymore. The contract is being dismissed and relations are over with. What? I really have reached my limits with you today, Maria. I was trying so hard not to make such a big deal out of this for your guys' sake. But having to get drenched in water by you today was the last straw. If you're going to continue to act like that towards me, then let me help you end all the relations you guys and I had. To start, I'm having that contract terminated today. And I will never, ever work with your husband and his company again. What is all of this about right now? What kind of contract are you talking about? You don't have anything to do with my husband and his company's work. Oh, but I have everything to do with it, actually. Your loving husband and I both have a lot to do with one another. Huh? Right now, Trey's company's been doing really well in terms of sales and all that, right? But who might be to thank for all of that growth and has a very good understanding of it all? I'm so sorry. Had you known who I'm talking about, you would have never done something as idiotic as pouring all that water on me. What? As for who I'm talking about, it's me. I happen to work as a customer of Trey's company. Actually, Trey's company happens to be a subcontractor to my company. I happen to have a lot of jobs that I give his company so that he's able to make money through us by handing my company labor. About half of those sales that Trey's been making in terms of selling labor come from my company. Huh? What did you say? That's why today I did not come as his sister-in-law, but rather as his most important customer. Yet if something like this were going to happen to me today, I would have never come. Wait a minute, you're his biggest customer? What? What? You're not just a customer of his, but the biggest one his company has? Just because I'm from the countryside doesn't mean I can't run a company as well. Now that you're aware of things, I'll be going.
Eloise, have you taken all your clothes off and gotten into the tub yet? Did you make sure to get all warmed up and everything? I'm at the store right now getting everything I need to make you chicken noodle soup, all right? Once I'm home, I'll make a big thing of it so that you can warm up and try to fight off any chance of catching a cold.
Thank you for all of this, Milo, but I was just drenched in a little bit of water, so I'll be fine.
You're not fine, though. None of this is fine. You have a very important meeting next week, and if you catch a cold because of Maria, what are we going to do? We have to make sure you take care of yourself now before it's too late.
You're looking more like my secretary right now than my husband.
I'm not your secretary, I'm like your teacher. Look, you have to understand that back in the day, I was a CEO myself and know what to do here. You have to make sure you take care of yourself before important meetings like that, so that your company can stay strong and not collapse along with you.
Then I guess I'll keep quiet and do as you say, teacher.
Jeez, I can't believe that chick would pour water all over you like that at her own wedding. That's not even something to call a mistake anymore. What she did was pure assault. I'm not going to let her get away with that.
Hey, you can chill there, Milo. I have no plans of forgiving her myself, and today I just plan to rest before I get to the business side of taking out the trash. And you can just focus on making me that soup and keeping those nasty colds away from me, please.
All right. I've just picked up all the ingredients and we'll be coming home now. Once you finish with your bath, make sure to get yourself in bed and wait for me, okay?
Please, Eloise, please don't tell me you're really going to stop doing business with Trey's company. Actually, can you come back to the wedding right now? If both you and Milo don't come back here right now, then this wedding is going to be canceled. Wait, it hasn't even been canceled yet? Why would it be canceled already? I just had to explain to everyone what happened just then in order to get them all to wait a bit longer. Everyone said that as long as you come back soon, then they will all stay for the wedding. Then can you tell them all the wedding is over with and that they can all go home now? What? Right now I've just sat down to eat some of my husband's famous chicken noodle soup. He's trying to keep me from catching a cold right now because of you. So he added extra spices to this bowl. I apologize for throwing that bucket of water all over you. So please, would you come here right now? I never knew that you were also a CEO, Eloise. And to hear that you're actually Trey's biggest customer as well, I never knew that. I'm sorry, Maria. It's too late for apologies now. No way, Eloise. Then could you at least hand your phone over to Milo and let me speak to him? Let me speak to him right now. You want to talk to Milo? I heard this from my dad of all people, but is it really true? I know that right now he stays home to do the housework and such, but he was working as a CEO of Townsend Holdings? Oh, your dad must know a lot about the business world. We never told your parents anything about where Milo used to work and who he was there. My dad is working for that company right now. What? And he knows a lot about your husband and what he did at the company. Milo had worked so hard at the company that within 2 years of first being hired, he made it to becoming the new CEO. And then after a few years of working in that position and taking the company to multiple record-breaking goals, he left because he received all the money he needed. Well, he was just really wanting to retire at a young age was all. And that's why he even put in so much work that even the previous CEO recognized him and said he was next in line. Milo's dream was to work his butt off every day and night to take that company to places it had never been before, so that he could get as many company bonuses as possible and then retire soon after. And he ended up achieving that dream of his in record time. Neither him nor I have ever thought that he'd actually be able to do all of that so quickly. What? And now that he's retired now, he just relaxes at home, getting all the housework done for me while enjoying his hobbies. And even at home, he's still making money through the many shares he got from that company before handing it off to another man. What? Sorry about this, Maria. I just asked Milo if he'd want to talk with you, and he said no. What? He happens to know about your father as well, by the way. His response to me asking about him was that you're the daughter of that useless manager who never got anything done for the company. So Milo totally understands where you got that toxic attitude from now. Useless manager? Now then, make sure you cancel that wedding of yours. And just as was expected, the wedding was canceled, and immediately following it, Maria and Trey started to talk about how there would be no more marriage. After what happened this time, even Trey, who was so madly in love with Maria, had his eyes open to the real kind of monster she is. He told her about how much this was going to ruin his company and about how his relation to his brother and myself had been soured because of her. After that, he said to her everything was off and that he would never, ever talk to her again. Thinking that she'd never hear something like that from Trey, Maria came to Milo and I screaming and crying about how sorry she was for everything. But as she sat outside our doors screaming about how sorry she was, we both looked at one another before locking the door and putting on a movie with the volume at max so that we didn't have to hear her. Trey later went ahead and started to put more attention into his company again after seeing me end that contract in front of his eyes. But after a few months go by, I might go back and see how he's doing and see if he really does need me to come back and work with him again. As for Maria, only a few weeks after giving up on apologizing to us, she was kicked out of her parents' house as her dad had had enough of her. Apparently Milo put in a bad word to the CEO of the company he used to run, saying that Maria's dad couldn't be trusted and should just be fired. So due to that, he is currently under even more investigation and soon might end up losing the job he never really took seriously to begin with. The last thing anyone has heard about Maria came from Trey after he received a note from her asking for him to take her back. But Trey knew better than to read that note, and so after giving it a skim, he tossed it in the garbage can with Maria watching him do so from a bush in his yard. After that, she was never heard from again and has most likely left New York for good and gone somewhere lowlifes like her can live. Like perhaps the backwoods or something.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Mom, can you give me $3,000 right now? You have to get that money into my account right now. What? $3,000? Once I'm home from school today, could you please give it to me? Then I can pay for what I need to get immediately. Hold on a second, Joy. $3,000 is a lot of money, okay? What do you plan to use money like that on? What? I need to use it for my graduation ceremony. I need to make myself some really cool clothing for the ceremony, so please give me that money. Cool clothing? And what do you mean that you need cool clothing for your graduation ceremony? I want to be just like one of the students from last year's graduation. I want to wear a gown that's completely bedazzled like her. What? She had her gown covered from top to bottom in all these cute little gems, and on the back of her gown, she had her first and last name spelled out in gems. So I'm gonna do the same thing as her this year. Then I'll be the most amazing looking person out of my friends on stage. I'll be standing out more than anyone in the school. You're planning on making yourself look that gaudy? And you want to look that way during your graduation ceremony? That's why I'm asking you to send me that money right now, please. They said the moment I get that money to them, they'll start to work on my gown, so I have to do this soon. There's not much time left before the graduation ceremony, okay? And you're telling me that all costs $3,000 to do. I'm sorry to say this, Joy, but that's gonna be a no from me. I'm not gonna pay for you to get a $3,000 bedazzled job done on your gown today. Huh? I already promised all my friends that I'd be doing it. And all my friends are planning on doing something as well that they've already been able to pay for. If I'm the only one showing up in just a plain gown on that day, I'm gonna be made fun of. Do you want your daughter to be made fun of on her special day? I'm sure your friends aren't gonna do that to you. Also, if you've been wanting to do something like that, then you should have started saving up some money yourself. I'm not gonna just hand you $3,000 if you haven't done anything to earn it. Huh? Just the other day, I'd ran into one of your friends' moms at the supermarket. I overheard them talking about how their daughters were all preparing special gowns for the graduation ceremony. Were they all talking about what you're telling me right now? But guess what? All of their daughters had been saving up some money for their gowns, and that's why their mums weren't against the idea. However, in your case, you've come to me last minute asking for an immense amount of money to go and make that gown up. But that's not going to happen. I don't care that you don't want me doing this. Just shut up already and give me that money. Once again, while you were sitting there messing around after school, all of your friends have been out working in order to save up money for their gowns. They all want to look cool on the day of their graduation, so a lot of them have been saving up every penny they've earned and received for that event. What? They've all been doing that? And it's not just about them saving all their money, but the fact that they were also helping their moms with chores to make even more money. Yet in your case, what have you been doing exactly that warrants me giving you any money? All of your friends have been working for what they want, yet you expect things like that handed to you. If you really feel that your gown isn't going to be cool enough, then perhaps use what crafts we have at home to do some handiwork on yours. Shut up! I don't need you preaching to me about all that right now, so just hurry up and give me that money. If you don't give it to me soon, then I'll never have that gown made up in time. No matter how much you cry, I'm not budging. You are not going to be getting $3,000 from me. You go and explain to your friends why you won't have that gown made up for graduation, please. Tell them you didn't work on making or saving any money, so you were not able to get what you wanted. You freaking stingy little witch! All right then, if you're not gonna give me that money, then I'll have Dad give it to me. Felix, I think in a little while you'll be getting some text from Joy, all right? She wanted to get a lot of money from me, but of course the amount she was asking for was a bit ridiculous, so let's just agree not to give her anything for what she wants.
What all went on between you two? How much money was she asking you for?
Well, to start, Joy's wanting to make a so-called cool gown for her graduation ceremony with her friends. She wants to pay $3,000 for that gown.
What? She wants to pay $3,000 for that gown?
That gown? Wait, have you been aware of this?
Wait, it's not that I've really heard everything about it, but just little bits here and there. She was just showing me a drawing of the design she wanted bedazzled on it. But you're telling me it's going to cost that much to make?
If you knew about it all of this time, you could have told her to stop her to start saving up some money. All of her friends have been working to save their money up in order to pay for their gowns to be made, but Joy had no plans to pay with any of the money she's had, instead expecting us to pay for her. She came out of nowhere today asking me to give her $3,000, so of course I said no to that. Then she yelled at me that she'd be asking you for the money before she stopped texting me.
I see. At least I have a good idea of what's to come now. But that was a bit cold for you to do that to her. At times like this, you should be willing to give her that money.
What?
I understand that asking for $3,000 last minute is a bit tough, but it is her graduation after all, right? And she told you she wants to do this so she can match with her friends. As her parents, we should be willing to give her that kind of money for this.
Handing her something like $3,000 is not an easy thing to do, you know. You happen to know that we don't have $3,000 just sitting around right now.
What? Is that right? You're telling me that right now we don't have the ability to just hand our daughter $3,000?
That's right. And that's because you never put any of your money into this house and family. That's why I have to work my butt off putting all I earn into the food and bills. If you want to be the one saying that we have the ability to give her that much money right now, then you use what you have on you to pay her.
Huh? You know I don't have the money to do that, Hayley. I have to go out drinking a lot with people from work, and that doesn't include all the golf outings I'm going to these days. What I'm making is pretty much all going into those two things right now.
But from what I've seen for the past year, you haven't been going out golfing or to drink with your coworkers. So tell me, where is all that money going off to now?
What?
Last month I happened to see your coworkers at the hospital. One of them had gotten into an accident and was there getting some x-rays done on himself. Another was in there getting some testing done to check his liver. I went to talk with them about how things were going between you and them, and all of them gave me the same answer. For around a year now, you have not been going out to golf or drink or anything with them at all.
But you went and talked to those guys without telling me anything. You can't talk to them about their personal lives when you're a nurse at the hospital.
Says who? I was just having small talk with them is all, as that's part of what nurses do with patients. And it so happens that they all told me that they rarely see you at work even, so it's sounding to me like there's something fishy going on there. Even the doctor standing next to me said something was up there, considering I thought you were always with your coworkers after work.
What?
So what's going on here, Felix? Were they just lying to me about you and you really have been going out with them? Or perhaps you're just going out by yourself now to have fun? From what they told me is that you never come with them anymore because you gave the excuse of never having money and it would be tough having to pay for you all the time. So then what is really going on here, Felix?
Shut up. Right now, that has nothing to do with what's going on. We've been talking about Joy, so don't change the topic.
Hey, don't you dare try to run away from me just because things are getting tight for you.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. This is it for a conversation now. I'm done talking to you. Go ahead and give Joy the money she wants already. Stop being such a stingy little witch about it and give her what she wants. I'll tell her right now that you're going to give it all to her.
Hey! Were you shocked by the graduation today? That bedazzled gown I had with all my friends looks so cute, right? And how did you end up getting that gown? Neither your father or I gave you $3,000 for it. You were still able to get that gown made up for yourself. I went and snuck that money away from you, actually. Excuse me? I know that you keep your purse hidden away in the closet in your room. So I went in there and took one of your cards out of it without you noticing. In order to never have you hear about your card being used, I told the cashier to not charge the card until today. And to keep you from finding out about the gown, I went to school early today to get changed. You went into your parents' room and stole their credit card from them? Joy, do you have any idea what you've just done? You went into your mom's purse and stole her card and used it. What? Did I do something wrong? Your cute little daughter was asking for some money and you never handed it to me, so this is all your bad, right? Excuse me? I just wanted to make one last amazing memory with my friends. I did not do a single thing wrong here. The fact that you just skipped over apologizing for what you've done and instead went right to blaming me is something else. You are so in for it when you get home today. I'm going to make sure you get the butt whooping of a lifetime from your dad. There's no way you're ever going to steal money from anyone after he puts in some work on you. Wow. All it was $3,000, you stingy little witch. Don't get so dang upset over that. You're not even scaring me right now with all that talk. Honestly, I won't even go back home if you're there. Won't come back home. Are you planning to start staying at one of your friends' houses now or something? Don't you dare start doing that. Someone like you who thinks it's okay to steal money is not allowed to stay over at their friend's house. Until you're in college and out of this home, you are being grounded to this house. Huh? Whoever said I was going to go and stay over at my friend's house? From now on, I'm going to live with Dad in a brand new house, which means for the rest of time, I'm never going to be living with you again. What? You're going to live with your dad in a brand new house? Starting today, I'm going to live with Dad and my new mom in that house, so there's no more need for the stingy hag and her loud, annoying mouth in my life anymore. What? What do you mean your dad and your new mom? Oh no. So you never noticed a single thing this whole time? For over a year now, Dad has been cheating on you with another woman. I'm laughing my butt off right now, though, because you never noticed a single thing. He's been cheating on me for over a year now? So all of that going out to drink and golf was a lie. He's been trying to hide all of that from me then. That means Joy. Since when did you know about all of this happening with your dad? About a half a year or so. Dad told me he had someone he wanted me to meet and then happened to be his girlfriend. Her name's Jessica, and she's a very beautiful woman and has a really good sense of style. She was the one that helped me design my gown for the graduation ceremony. You're lying, right? You've known about her that long now and you've been seeing her? And she was the one that gave me the idea to take your credit card and use it on my gown. She told me that back when she was in my age, she'd steal money from her mom and dad all the time. She also told me that everyone does that when they're my age, so I didn't have to worry about it. Huh? By the way, you were told today that Dad had some work to do today, so he couldn't make it to the ceremony, right? That was also a lie. He took the day off work today, and he's been with Jessica getting the new house ready. That means after I'm done here, I can go to that house and we can start living as a new family. What? But you told me today that you'd be coming home with your friends. That's why I left on my own and came home first. And after I'm done talking and walking with my friends, I'll be heading over to that new house to live with Dad and Jessica. You can go ahead and hand in the divorce paperwork for Dad, please. Dad told me that he left it all in the living room for you. There's no way. What the hell is going on right now? So you've known about your dad cheating on me and that's been going on for over a year? And to make all that worse, you become close with his girlfriend and today you're gonna start living with them? The fact that you're starting to panic is hilarious. So make sure you hand in that divorce paperwork soon for us. And then after that, you can try to calm down and forget about us. Ah, that's right. After the divorce, you're gonna have to pay $1,000 a month in child support. So make sure to get that to us starting next month. Child support? What? Have you been panicking so much that you didn't think about the child support? Since you won't have any custody of me, you're responsible for paying Dad child support every month. I don't care how much of a stingy butt you are, you have to pay up. And that means $1,000 a month, please. You're still my mom legally, so you have to pay. Well, could you tell that to your real mom? What? Ah, wow. You still have no clue what's gone on, do you? I'm sure once things have calmed down a little, you'll start to understand. In my case, I have a bit of a headache now, and I need to take some time to think about what's happened. Go ahead and tell your dad and his girlfriend about this, please. Oh, wait a second. What do you mean my real mom? You're my real mom, right? You promised me to pay $1,000 a month in child support to us right now. I can't think anymore. If you have anything else to ask about, then talk with your dad, please. Now I'm gonna go have myself one big ol' nap.
You've really gone and done it now, telling her all that needless crap. You never had to tell her about her real mom, right?
Excuse me? What's wrong with me telling her the truth? And it seems that you got her thinking that I'm the one who'll have to pay child support, huh? You have to tell her the truth right now so that she doesn't get her hopes up.
I don't have to tell her anything.
If you think that that's your only option now. Or it could be that if you told her the truth, things would only begin to get worse for you. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with things getting worse then. You'll just have to tell your cute little daughter that you've cheated twice now in your life and with 2 different people.
What did you say?
Tell her about how your second year of being married to me, you had a baby with another woman who ran to the house and dropped that baby off at our doorstep before vanishing. And how when we had DNA testing done, you were a match to your daughter. I didn't want anything bad happening to your baby, so I made sure to keep quiet about not being her real mother. But look at what's happened now. You've once again cheated on me, and could it be with the same woman, perhaps?
Shut the hell up. Who cares about what happened back then? It's been over a decade and some years since then. Me cheating on you back then is long gone now.
Huh?
Now, I want you to hand in those divorce papers and promise me you'll pay her child support. Even if she's not your real child, you still took over as her mother. You have been raising her for so long now. You're pretty much a real mom.
Nope. I was just taking care of her in place of her mother. I don't have any reason to be paying child support for her.
You don't feel any worries about her? You've lived with her for so long now. Don't you feel you have a duty to take care of her by handing some money over, even if she's not living with you anymore?
Absolutely not, actually. I don't care about the little brat.
What?
You do your best taking care of her yourself. I had to do all of that for you for over a decade now, so it's your turn to become a real dad for her. There you go, Felix. Good luck. I've had enough of this lifestyle with you all, and that means I don't care for any of you anymore either.
Why the hell are you acting like none of what's happened here bothers you? If anything, the reason Joy turned into that brat is because of the way you raised her.
You think so?
Do you understand how much it hurt me watching you raise her into some kind of stupid little playground bully? She was my cute little girl, and you ruined her. That's why I cheated on you again. You and her would always get into fights with one another, and I had to be in the middle of those fights every time. I don't want you to ever forget that this was all your fault, and none of it is to blame on anyone but yourself.
Now I see you're acting like none of this is gonna bother you. Well, I'd cut that out if I were you. All you've done in your life is push that child your little whore friend had with you onto me and forced me to raise her for so many years. And years after, when that little girl didn't turn out very well, you start blaming me for it and using that as a reason to cheat some more? You must be mentally retarded to think that.
Excuse me?
That little brat has your DNA. That's probably why she turned out just like you. She turned out the same brat you've always been, caring only about yourself and not a single other person. You feel horrible that your cute little girl turned into a playground bully? Well then, all you have to say for that is it's in her DNA and that you're sorry.
You had no right speaking like that to your own frickin' husband.
Huh? My husband? Who's that? I already handed in the divorce papers, so I'm not sure what husband of mine you're talking about. If you're referring to yourself, then you should be saying my previous dickhead husband.
You can't say things like that when you're the one who can never raise a child properly. It's no wonder a woman like you got divorced. Unlike your old and stingy butt, my girlfriend is beautiful and happens to have some good common sense. Now that I'll be having Joy live with her and Joy will be cleaned up of her past of being a prick like you and will become a proper woman. Then I'll finally have myself the perfect family that I've always been wanting.
Mom, help me! I can't keep living in this house anymore. My new mom is too scary and I want to come back to you. Wasn't she supposed to be the beautiful woman with a lot of common sense and good style? And she'd been that way for a long time, but the moment she married Dad, she turned evil. All that kindness she had before and that smile, they're all gone. I think she only happens to look nice until you become close to her. I learned that she used to be part of a biker gang back in the day as one of the leaders, and she's done a lot of terrible things. Really? Part of a biker gang back in the day? And a leader for them at that. Dad didn't seem to know about all of that either, and when Dad went and told her about how you wouldn't be sending us any child support, that smile that she had on her face quickly vanished and she turned into the devil. She told him that if that's the case, there was no point in marrying him, and she said that with the loudest yell I've ever heard. Wow. She then turned to me and said if I wasn't going to be making her any money, then there was no point in having me around. She said she could have done a lot with the $1,000 she was promised by Dad. She's so pissed off with everyone in the house right now that I can't even look at her anymore because she's so scary. And to make everything even worse, she has this old bat she used back in the day and is carrying it around the house now, and there are bloodstains all over it. A bat even. She's nothing like the proper woman your dad and you were bragging about, huh? There are even still strands of hair still on that bat. I went on my phone to look up who Jessica even is after entering her name, and she popped up. There were photos of her in here from years ago in a biker clothing, and she's been totally beaten up and has another woman's hair in her hand. Now that you mention it, she was the one that helped you design your gown you wore at the graduation ceremony, right? I suppose it did have that 1970s biker street gang look to it, didn't it? Now that I think about it, she really knew a lot about how to make designs like that. Well, isn't that amazing for you, Joy? I'm sure you're happy to learn that your new mom used to be in a gang and wear all that cool clothing then, right? Now you and her can be best buds, and she'll maybe even take you out to mess around with her. This is not good, Mom. I'm a real gang member like she was. I just like their style is all. I've never been in any fights before, and I've had perfect attendance at school all my life. I never even knew that she was a real biker gang member. She started threatening me with her bat and said that she's going to teach me all sorts of things about living on the streets. I'm scared, Mom. She has so far made me take care of every little chore in the house for her, and anytime I even say a word, she slaps me. I'm freaking out. My, oh my. When it comes to Dad, she makes him sit in a chair all day. The only reason she ever said yes to marrying him is because he promised her that there would be child support involved. Yet now she's saying that liars like him are the reason why people go missing during the night. Every day she'll sit on his lap while he's in that chair while swinging her bat, saying she never knows where the bat might slip. So he's really found himself a new relationship filled with thrills. Mom, please help me. I won't dress that stupid anymore, okay? I'll become a good little girl for you again as long as you'll take me back. I'll even start working part-time and give you that $3,000 back. You don't have to give me that money back. I'd much rather you never talk to me again. Can you do that for me? I was never the one that gave birth to you, and I don't really care what happens to you. What? Right now, your new mom is Jessica, right? So could you stop calling me Mom? It's very rude to her. No way. Wait. Are you gonna throw me away? Don't you feel bad for me hearing about how I have to live? Wasn't it you that chose that life? And when it comes to the $3,000 you stole from me, I got it back from your dad as part of the settlement. So there really is no reason to take you back. No reason to? Have fun now. I hope things go well for you and your dad's new wife. If you really want to move out of there, you're almost going to be 18 here, so you can leave your dad then. Just as long as you start working a job and have the money to. Right after I was done talking with Joy, I made sure to block her number and my ex-husband's number as well. A little bit after that, I heard from a friend that both my ex and Joy got themselves part-time jobs in order to make enough money to leave that horror show. And Joy's also been trying to get into some university so that she can move into a dorm a lot sooner rather than later. No matter how often I asked her to start working on finding a school to go to or about getting a job, she never listened to me. I guess I just wasn't disciplining her quite like Jessica is. When it comes to how my ex is living now, besides the part-time job, of course, he has to give all of that money to his ex-biker gang member wife, and then she gives him $10 a week to spend on himself. And so far, he has not said one comment or complaint back to her about it, considering his life might be on the line there. As for how things have been going on in my own life, I ended up moving out of the old house I shared with them and into a smaller house fit for myself. It's nice having all my money to myself again, and I'm thinking about getting myself a dog and cat here soon to add a little company to the environment. I really do have to say, life is so much better when you don't have an idiotic, cheating husband and his bratty little daughter around anymore. That's helped with my headaches quite a bit.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.